Good morning to everyone. So, on behalf of Meerut Institute of Engineering and Technology, I, Dr. Vaishali Goyal, welcomes you all in 6 days AICT sponsored short-term training program Series 2 on the topic 21st Century Emerging Trends in Research and Paradigm Shift in Business Practice. MIT, affiliated to AICTE, was established in 1997 and is ranked as the fourth best engineering college in Uttar Pradesh by AICTE. MIT ensures that each student emerges out competent enough to hold a dynamic image on his own after the completion of his or her stint at institute. MIT School, the 21st Century Management Education, is a premier department providing quality education to the students. The department has a cohesive team of experienced academicians who facilitate the learning process with 21st century management education tools to connect the course structure through active academic industry interface. So from today, we are starting a 6-day AICT sponsored STTP in continuation with Series 1 with the objective of guiding research process to carry out research in international trade and to train researchers for problem formulation and case studies. Now I would like to invite our Dean Sir Dr. Devendra Arora to welcome our guest.
Yes, it's a truly a good day for all of us. 15th of December 2020, as we saw the many ups and downs in 2020 from Corona to and so many, and some of our beloved, they lose their life, and some of new technology emerge. So it's a part of the life. Then we have to face and the every challenges of our life. And as today is a Tuesday in Indian, it says it's a Mangalwar and Mangal Bhavaniya Mangal Hari. So we pray to each and everyone, then everyone be happy, healthy, and safe where they are, anywhere in the corner of this blue planet. So we all are praying to the God for the happy and healthy life for all of us. And I wish to begin to give you a small introduction of this second AICT sponsored short-term training program, which is very useful and fruitful for all of us, including me, you, and everyone. Even then, sometimes speaker will learn from the audience, and the audience also officially learn from the speaker. So we give the something different in this webinar, which is the training program, and we give a mix as per our title, 21st Century Emerging Trends in Research. It makes a very drastic change in 2020 only. Only this 10 month gives us a number of lessons, and they give us a different aspect, and they give us a living the healthy life. Here, what is the special in this program? As from last 3 months, we are continue to organize the many short-term training program in our various department of MIET. MIET is a very big group of the Northern India, and every month we got the message from our different department: electronic, mechanical, then civil, then computer science, engineering, pharmacy, architecture, and many more departments. They give us a message to each other that today we organize the STTP, and in this sequence, being a department of management study and business research, we give a different flavor on this STTP. If we see the speaker list of this STTP, then we have a total 8 speaker in the different days, and 50% speaker from the industry and 50% speaker from the academia. So here this speaker will grace the everyday day 1, Professor Sanjeev Mittal and Mr. Varun Jharkharia. He's a director of Hitam Logistics. Professor Mittal from University School of Management Study, GGSIP University, And the day two, it will be graced by the problem formulation system by the Dr. Poonam Kumar. Dr. Poonam Kumar, she is from I am Sambhalpur. And again, the day third, we bring the one more effective founder and director, Mr. Ankur Bharti from the industry. Day four, it comes the option trading. Mr. Mayank Sachan, Vice President on interest rate of the Goldman Sachs, New York. And day four again, methodology and case study in supply chain management by the Dr. Shailendra Dubey. He's from Ministry of External Affairs. And day five, it is the grace by the Dr. Ganesh Singh. He's a program director of All India Management Association for the PhD program. Is association with the Aligarh Muslim University. And day six will be on retail research. Mr. Samir Shukla is ex-director of intelligence, and South Asia Nelson Global Group from Mumbai. So many flavor we try to give it to you each and everyone. And once again, I welcome Professor Sanjeev Mittal is join us. Thank you very much, sir. Very good morning. Good to see
Thank you.
you.
Good morning. Good
Yeah.
morning, sir. Good morning.
Yes. So here I start this inaugural program with the welcome remark of Professor Arun sir. Arunji, I've used the word professor. I think it's your wish to be a professor from last 15 years. We are continuing with each other, and today you are a very senior IT leader of the global industry, and you are working as a director of Universal Bank of Switzerland, and right now you are in Pune. So I invite you for the welcome speech to give a shower of your blessing and wishes for the all of us. Dr. Shri Arun.
Yeah, very good morning to all of you, and thank you, Dev, for giving very kind introduction. I think Mr. Dev and we have been connected more than a decade now. I remember I was in Singapore that time. First introduction was there, and I have been following him because couple of his idea I love that management learner must. So I keep following those keywords. But yes, as they rightly mentioned, because I wanted to become a teacher, but he started career in 99 with Tata Group, and since then traveling worldwide. So presently working with Swiss Bank, which is well-known industry. So to start with that, because MIT, I have been, because when they joined, I mean, I have been following with Facebook and another social media mechanism. So knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is premise of progress in every society, family, country. And these words have proven true for MIT. As Mr. Dev mentioned that because success formula, it takes a very simple way based on the experience. Then I will cover to paradigm shift in the business field because that is very close to my heart. So success, if you see the S, is see your goal. U is understand the obstacle. C is a create positive mental picture. Another C is a clear your mind of self-doubt. E, embrace the challenge. Yes, stay on the track. And last is how the word you can do it. So that's the way I think, because when I started with the concept of wanted to win, so it stands for work is work hard, I innovate and never give up. That from there I started. Coming to industry side, I think today the big challenge is three things: do more, think more, innovate more. That is where business paradigm shift you can see. I mean, earlier, I mean, technology point of view cycle change was around 8 to 9 years, but COVID recent pandemic has taught us, I mean, looks like because digital every CIO, CEO, MDs were thinking about 5 years, 6 years plan. But COVID, I think that has changed. Whatever industry I have observed in last 6 7 month progress, I don't think we could have done in the 4 and 5 years. So that's a massive change, and technology is playing very important role in that. Coming to banking, because if anything comes in the bank, always there is a security concern comes, or any industry if we try to do that. So banking, we go with a very similar word. I mean, banking is a technology, but really technology is a people. And culture is key to effective use of technology, because it's very easy to say, okay, we can build this one, that one, but uh, corresponding, I mean, risk also comes with that. So one thing I always believe, the biggest risk if we don't take risk. So because when we try to play with that, fail fast, fail better, fail forward, I think these are very close to that, because then you can do the paradigm shift. Otherwise, if we are afraid to fail, then extremely difficult to make the changes. And digital world, I mean, which is the COVID time, I think is all about driving learner processes with which are efficient. And technology is enabler, but the information itself. And the big challenge is stay relevant for keeping up with the technology changes, because frequency will be less. Apart from one hand, we look for what are the technology in the business domain coming up. Second is idea. That is another important aspect, because just somewhere I was reading that in Israel, startup and India relationship in terms of the business world, how things are coming up. So Israel, I was reading that why they are very successful in startup. In India, we are very good in the number game. We are the third largest. We are in a startup third. Now we have reached IT. We are doing something differently, but we didn't. I mean, is not I'm trying to criticize, but I'm looking in terms of what we can do more better. We could not make the company like Google or Microsoft. The reason what I feel from the Israel and India startup point of view, Israel, one thing I have seen that they have a culture, because a lot of my friend we work past in that. They have a concept how we can become the best. So that's I think making the difference for them, because in India I think somewhere those area is missing. That's where I think recently one NESCOM survey was there, where they were trying to, because voice they are thinking is the next boom or next area of innovation. And they were trying to search how many startup is there in India, and they got only 62. So which is a if you feel that's very less number. But yes, if India, I mean, if you try to see from where I started in the industry, Y2K problem and .NET, a lot of, I mean, cycle, we have seen that. And our habit is, because in startup world, even if 62, why is if we know one of, because when Modi started Man Ki Baat, that is where realization has come, because question has come in different languages to the ministry and PMO, and they were a very big challenge to understand I mean, what message they are trying to pass. So this is the, I mean, 1.3 billion people in this country, and so WISE definitely is going to be one of big innovation area for the India. And who are, because normally when something comes and almost close to establishment, then we become the active. So these 62, I think they will be definitely ahead of the game. Apart from in terms of the technology and business, I think three other theme also important: agile, cloud, automation. I think these are keywords, because now I can see a lot of work bot is doing that. So whatever human can do, because end of the day nobody can replace the human, but bot is developing, I mean, the way coding and different technology, whether it comes to AI, big data, blockchain. Now you take the example of blockchain that has a massive opportunity. For example, if somebody is not well in one of our take the example in UP, one village, To get to Delhi, I think they have a massive pain, and all are the manual process. So is a huge chain, and how with the technology we can fill that, so that because if especially if you go in developed country like Singapore, I mean, which is a very, I always say that's not country, city, that's a, kind of company. They know how to do the trade. So if you want to go any hospital very easily online, you can do a lot of things to reach to the right doctor and all. But India is still massive scope to improve that. So I think technology is helping a lot. But yes, three principle normally I keep in the journey, and people struggle with impossible and possible point of view. So with the COVID, I think some magic happened, because 4,000, 5,000 people in one region, one country, one couple of area, bringing them to uh, work from home option, it was not easy when Prime Minister announced, and the way things happened, and everybody surprised. So difference between the impossible and possible lies with persons or individual determination. So one thing, I think a lot of learning comes with that, because if somebody informed and we get the time, I don't think we could have done this kind of magic in technology front. So there has been, I mean, continuity with the change, because normally I also do my personal level also. Whenever I try to change the job, I always see where is the challenge. I don't go in a very stable concept, because there is no learning. So that's where I try to do, where a massive scope and all. So three principle I try to apply that. One is focus on the, I think that goes with the research as well. Key focus on the clarity and simplicity, because that's a key. Create a narrative and strike a balance between the design and function, or you can say planning and execution. That is where we come. And a couple of things from the COVID point of view, why I'm trying to relate, because business that has given a lot of opportunity also. One, learning being comfortable with uncomfortable, that's another. Every organization, I can take the example is State Bank. When problem happen, pandemic, they have a massive book, I think 6,000 or 7,000 in between somewhere. They have a backup recovery disaster recovery plan. But when it happened, they were searching, nothing was there. I mean, in terms of how to cope up with that. So that's a gift, I think, in terms of digital area, in terms of security area. I think these couple of area I can see we have a lot of challenge, which and another above all, mindset, because going to think differently, it's not about what we do, how we are thinking right way. Technology or business leadership is not a simple and constant battle with the capability, cost, and security point of view. And the couple of area I will touch upon, I mean, given the past experience plus current experience, I think five, if we want to play with that, I think five, six area we look upon. The one comes is trust, because trust is going to become the key currency now in hyper digital or contactless world, because it's very simple to say, okay, company will be ready to give work from home option, but massive security is there. For example, when we were, I mean, thinking about to move the cloud, nobody can move the cloud, the logic all gone if somebody is going to control that. So trust is has changed everything completely. And any organization, or even if uh, academic world also, I don't think anybody will share their IP related document without trust. So trust is going to be play important role in that. Second is a talent. A lot of people are worried about, okay, I will get the job or not. But I think I was reading digital world, where massive scope for, we have a shortage of the talent. So technology area, I mean, is replacing and coming with the new technology, and new technology is bringing a lot of opportunity for the job point of view. So talent is key because we need the people. I think in education sector there is a shortage, right? Digital talent across the globe. Need of our is education system to foster this area and hunger to lifelong learning, because it's still, I mean, I have completed now 21 or 22 years, close to that. Every day 1 or 2 hours I spent on the learning. uh, so that help a lot in that terms, because lifelong learning is key. And third comes innovation. Innovation, why I say, because that is no longer an option but necessity. If we think, okay, innovation is nice to have, definitely not must to have option. We have seen how the recent crisis and transformation point of view, how to adopt, innovate in order to emerge stronger. So innovation front, I would say, in the technology mapping plus creating the impact and problem solving. I think another I will touch upon here, problem solving, because I remember when we started the job, people will talk about, okay, problem solving mindset is required. Then that has changed, creative, reactive problem solver. Then third comes reactive problem solver to proactive problem solver. And now people are talking problem finder. So that's what the innovation is changing. I mean, how to people capable enough to think differently, because a lot of incubator you can see in the ITs, IM, a lot of focus is that to provide the uh, a place where people can share their ideas, so that they can help to take up to the next level. And ethics, I think that's another is because when we are working in the remote model and all, is not only how we do the business at the same time. I mean, responsible use of technology has become more must to have things now, for the whether it comes to the organization, whether it comes to individual level. I think inclusion and ethics has become the key component. And whether it we play in the data science, data leader, or any kind of technology, that is important to do that, right? And last but not least, agility and resilience, because speed and scale will decide the winner, because multiple player is there. But who can cope up, because when any product we try to make, I think three things we keep in mind: CBF, change, how cheaper, better, and faster. That is where I think challenge is how we can improve the speed month by month, day by day, and scale up that one. So that's a challenge is there. And today I think in the hybrid model, or I don't think even if a vaccine comes, I don't think in we will go back to the normal way. We say new normal and all, there normal is normal, there is no new normal, right? So maybe concept will be reversed, maybe the ratio of 60/40, 70/30. But I don't think we will go in the same model of where we were focusing on face to face kind of. So I think mindset is going to play the role, and virtual communication, how we can do the better communication via virtual mode, that is a key. Cloud is going to be play the important role in the business continuity and in the business world. And research point of view, because industry point of view, I think research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So that's where the technology and innovation comes. And academic research ad. So one of the big challenges is how to ensure, I mean, virtual communication remains productive despite possible cultural changes. So normally three word I prefer to use that within our area. Uh, One is a plan, second is collaboration, and third is a measure. If we do daily basis, I think we can think about where we are and how we can make the things better for future tomorrow. So that's where, in terms of the online point of view, I think 3C comes in the picture: connectivity, compassion, and communication. I think that is going to play the key role uh, going forward. But yes, I would only one mention in the last few words. I think if there is a no challenge, no fun. So it's very important to have a challenge every time. When people come with the idea, I think we enjoy, because normally what will happen, we will fail. But if we fail, then that give a lot of learning for us to make the better future tomorrow. One example I can give you: one company I joined long back, uh, the place was Vietnam, one telecom organization. They asked me to build some product. So that product was waterfall and agile model, because signed, sealed, delivered, that was the waterfall, and we get the surprise after 6 months, 1 year, depending on the duration of the project. They told me, okay, you need to deliver. So we started working with the team. After 2 weeks, I asked the CTO of that organization, we want to give the demo. He said, too early? I said, yes, we want to show you the progress. And when we arranged the demo, he was very unhappy with that. He said, why? I mean, I was thinking something else. You guys are doing something else. I think there is a mismatch between the expectation versus what you are trying to build at. So that learning we have took, and from there, based on the feedback, and we have tried to build the product. After another 15 days, we have given the demo another, and massive change with his thought process. So he said, I think first day was the waste. I said, no, because if we could have done 2 month, 3 month, then massive waste. But we have done in a shorter duration. We got your feedback, and correction has been in place. So I think the feedback is also important to avoid waste, and in terms of delivery, because in end of the day, everybody in the business want benefit realization. That is where agile mindset comes, because in short duration, to demonstrate benefit realization and get the feedback and continue progressing in the direction, so that we can either meet the expectation or close to that. That can do that, because now that is also customer side. Also, you see a lot of change. We were thinking about earlier customer satisfaction, then comes to delight, and now customer experience. I mean, real time they want experience. That's where agile, scrum, any kind of methodology, if you use that, whether it comes to scrum, whether it Kanban or release, anything, I think everywhere the concept is how to provide the real time progress and get the feedback and take the next level. So with this note, I think if anything they you want to touch upon, I'm happy to cover. So just I wanted to share a few words about this
Yeah.
business point.
So nice of you. So nice of you, Arunji. That's really. I just mentioned some words in chat box also: clarity and simplicity, and CBF, change, better, and fast, which is very important, because fast and steady then win the race. Slow and steady was the old concept,
Right.
and no challenge, no fun. It's truly fantastic. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Arunji. I wish to invite Dr. D.K. Sharma. He's a Dean of the MIT Group of Institution, Meerut, to give his views and wishes to all of us. Dr. D.K. Sharma ji.
Thank you, Dr. Arora.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Very good morning, one and all present here. I welcome learned speakers on this platform. What I feel actually, when Industrial 4.0, fourth revolution is in progress. At this time, this topic is very relevant. Recent trends in research and paradigm shift. When we think about the progress of our country, all-round progress of our country. The paradigm shift in business practices is very much important and essential. I hope this STTP will provide an opportunity to learn from learned speakers and share their highly approached views about the industrial revolution. Hope the participant will benefited by this STTP. Thank you, Dr. Arora, for providing this opportunity to be here for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your blessing. Thank you so much. I wish to invite Shri Neeraj Arora ji. Neeraj Arora ji is a man of the green building professional, because blue planet can become a blue planet if our building is a blue. If our building, our home, our nearby area is neat, clean, and green, then automatically entire district, entire nation, and finally entire this blue planet become a green, and we can save from the global warming. So global warming now the slowly go down, because we all are doing a joint effort to reduce the pollution and so many other things. I love to invite my very decent young dynamic friend, my philosopher, my guide, Mr. Neeraj Arora. He is associated with the Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry in India. It's almost 100-year-old organization, and organize plenty of events with our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Last year on December 19th, we were at Vigyan Bhavan once 5 trillion economy was discussed by the many central minister, along with our finance minister and Narendra Modi ji, Sita Nirmala Raman, Jaishankar Prasad ji, and many more other leaders. Samruti Irani was there. Though, then he's a fantastic. And from today till again, this is the foundation week, 101st year. Neeraj ji, correct me, 101 year. It's a very old SHM, more than 5 lakh associate, the industries are associated with the SHM. And Mr. Arora is had a GEM. It's a sustainability certification program of the SHM's Council of Environment and Climate Change. And he's a graduate in mechanical engineer and postgraduate in energy system engineering. He's a BEE certified energy auditor and certified green building professional. Associated with more than 200 green building projects in India and abroad also, and having a 18+ year. Even then, I think his age is 18 year only, but he wrote in his profile that 18+ year experience in education and professional. So wonderful welcome on this beautiful day, Tuesday, 15th of December. MIT is working with SHM, because SHM is starting his program Foundation Week today, and same as we started his foundation. We started our STTP program today. So 15 to 20, you are with me, and 15 to 20, we are with you. So most welcome, Neeraj ji, from Senior Director, SHM India. Most welcome.
Thank you, Devendra ji. Thank you so much. I mean, you have said many good things for me. I mean, I don't deserve that, first of all, but you are a nice person. So thank you so much, Merit Institute of Engineering and Technology, and especially Dr. Devendra Arora ji, for inviting me on this wonderful forum. I can see many distinguished guests here. So, and Dr. Arun Singh ji, your talk was really excellent. So, and your topic, Devendra Arora ji, what we have finalized is 21st century emerging trends in research and paradigm shift and business practices. This is, I mean, earlier also this topic was very much relevant, but nowadays, post-COVID, this topic has become more relevant because nowadays we can see that post-COVID, there are many business opportunities. There are many new businesses that have been, emerged. And first of all, doing business was very much difficult before, but now I think like we are doing this online webinar, and also, as you mentioned, right now we are organizing a 5 days online webinar with the ministry. So last year during this same time we did this in Vigyan Bhavan with 6,000 industry delegates. But this year we are doing this entire 5 days program where all the ministers are there, and on 19th again Narendra Modi ji will come to our program. So we are doing this entire program in online mode. It's a very sustainable way of doing the webinars and conferences and exchanging our views mainly. So and one more thing which I would like to specially mention here, that how the businesses are going sustainable. I mean, earlier you must have seen that when we do a program in India Habitat Center or anywhere, lots of machinery is involved in that. And, but nowadays, all those contractors and vendors have shifted to this online webinar things. So the same vendor which he did, who did this physical program for us, is doing the virtual program with us now. So I mean, this is a big change in the business practices. I mean, which I specifically wanted to discuss here, because I belong to green and sustainable jobs. So my entire focus is always there. I myself is a mechanical engineer. So from this platform, I would like to specifically address to our engineer students and architectural students that because I am a mechanical engineer, I have never worked in with the machines. So since inception of my career, I have always worked in consultancies or in soft businesses. So I mean, it hardly matters you are a mechanical engineer, electronics or electrical engineer. It depends what is your interest is. So nowadays there are many kinds of new business opportunities, new business practices that any engineering or architectural students can opt for. Like if I talk about green jobs, so in sustainability, green, energy efficiency, water efficiency, and in these areas, lots of business opportunities are there, lots of job opportunities are there. And now COVID has changed the business practices also. So I would request all our students from here, from this platform, that I mean, if they wish, they can go for sustainable, green, energy, water efficiency field also. Like in green building certification, there are architects, there are MEP designers, those who design the buildings. But nowadays there is one more sector which is emerging, is designing the green buildings. So we have architects, we have designers, those who design the buildings architecturally, mechanical, electrical, plumbing things, and other things. So now we involve the green consultants also, those who review our architectural designs, our MEP designs, and they highlight that how we can make our buildings more efficient, energy efficient, water efficient, and how we can make our buildings sustainable. So it's a new business opportunity, new job opportunity, new sector which is coming up for our students, engineering students specifically, and architectural students. So they can make their career in this sector, and not only the consultancy, but lots of building construction materials. So earlier we used to see conventional building construction materials, but nowadays we can see many sustainable building construction materials are launched in the market. Say if you talk about red clay bricks, nowadays we see fly ash bricks, AAC blocks, and other similar kind of materials for bricks. Earlier we used to use OPC cement. Nowadays there is a cement with the fly ash mix. Similarly, the materials which we are using for building construction is, I mean, we talk about steel, we talk about glass. So all the materials are recyclable and recycled also. So this way we are saving, we are using the non-virgin material, we are saving the virgin materials, and we are saving the environment also. Similarly, I mean, earlier we used to use the wood in the building construction, but nowadays many alternatives to the wood are available. I mean, we can use recycled wood, we can use boards, we can use bamboos, jute, or other similar products. So these are some new business opportunities, for us, where we can start our career, where we can choose and select our career in this. So it's not like I mean, there is a myth that if we are involving technology in our business and day-to-day life, we are cutting the jobs. It's not like that. These are basically the shift of jobs. So earlier we use men to do laborious work, but nowadays we are using machines to do the labor work, and we are using the men to operate those machines and to do the intellectual work. So basically, we are shifting the job opportunities from doing labor work to do the intellectual work. So I mean, our engineers, our architects, they can go for these new business opportunities. And Devendraji, I would like to specifically mention that you and your organization, if you are organizing such kind of programs for your students and faculties and society, so by this way, you are basically educating the students also, so that they can know that what new trends and technologies and new business opportunities are there in the market. So
Yes.
these are wonderful forums, sir, and you should regularly organize such kind of programs. And SOCM is also doing similar programs on various fronts, because in SOCM we have around 80 plus councils over various sectors. So it is always good to do joint programs on various subjects, so that our students and faculties will know that what are the new trends coming up in the market, so that they can also take best benefit out of that. So thank you once again, Devendraji and
So
Direct
nice.
Institute of Engineering and Technology, for inviting me for this wonderful program, and all the best to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Neeraj. Thank you so much. It's a truly called GEM, GEM. So Green Environment Management. And surely we all are ready to associate with you, and that your program is very good for, especially if we talk about the civil engineers. If civil engineers are much aware this green environmental management building, then definitely they get a great and big opportunity worldwide, not only in India. Worldwide, I'm talking about
Absolutely,
that. So it's
absolutely.
very good for the civil engineer, mechanical engineer. Once every company is now connected with the green, like I was looking the advertisement of Nestle. So never be a deforestation. The Nestle start is campaigning every year 1 million trees they planted by the Nestle. So then overall, I wish to invite the big umbrella of this online 21st century webinar, and I request to that big umbrella, he will be announced the Sttp will be start after his showering words of 5 to 10 minutes. Then he will announce the start of this short-term training program. Then after this inauguration, we will be restart with the word of wisdom from Professor Sanjeev Mittal ji on the importance of research and methodology. So till as an inaugural guest for this program, have 4 decade experience in academic, in industry, and his travel US, Denmark, Norway. He's a member of board of various universities and colleges. No need to give a big introduction. His name is Dr. Sanjeev Mittal, and I especially categorically that announce the Dr. Sanjeev Mittal. My source of inspiration, he's a professor of international business, as I am a learner of international business. I did my program from, I am Kolkata even then, but number of time I learned from Dr. Sanjeev Mittal. Right now he's a professor of management and director of academic affairs in University School of Management Studies, Guru Govind Singh, Indra Prasad University, New Delhi. Again, I said 39 year of teaching experience, as my age is just 39 year. So glad to be see here. And again, I use terms that he's a big umbrella for all of us. And interested area, marketing, export import procedure and documentation. And then he's visiting so many universities in US, Denmark, Norway. I folded hand invited Professor Sanjeev Mittalji for shower his blessing for this entire fraternity of academians. Then after that, we will take a 10-minute break. Then we restart our technical session. Welcome, Sanjeev sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave sir. And it is indeed a pleasure for such a wonderful words and such a wonderful introduction about me. And the topic which you have chosen is very right for these days, because the environment is completely changing. And for that particular reason, there is a need for paradigm change. And I think what you have said is that what are the recent trends in research, friends. And I will like to basically focus out over here is that nowadays more and more research from empirical is also moving towards the qualitative research. So we are using a lot of tools to do the qualitative research, and in any case we are also involved in empirical research. So the new thing which has emerged in doing the research is the qualitative research, and tools like Atlas TI, Nevo, and many other type of tools we are trying to use in order to do these types of qualitative research. So my voice is audible? I'm audible, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will continue. And another thing which is very important is that nowadays the shift has been there, that whenever we do any type of a research, we are trying to lay a lot of emphasis on review of literature. Now, why this emphasis is there? So that we are in a position to understand what type of work has been done in different parts of the world, and whatever work has been done in different parts of the world, we are in a position to take cue from there and therefore try to do the extension of that type of research. Even there is no problem to repeat the same research which has been done over there in Canada, and if it is being done out over here in India. Let's say, for example, I say nowadays we are doing a lot of work on e-learning. So we are trying to understand how this e-learning has been done in different parts of the world, and how exactly those variables of e-learning can also be replicated out over here in India. And that is how exactly we are trying to put a lot of emphasis on review of literature. Nowadays, doing review of literature has become easy because of the say these types of digital libraries which are available, and all types of journals are e-journals these days. I remember of my days, friend, when we were doing research, we were trying to lay hands on the physical copies of the journals, and it was difficult to locate those copies, because then physically we have to go to those different libraries, say Ratan Tata Library or any other such type of good libraries, and try to find out those journals from there. Now, sitting out over there in good libraries, whoever are subscribing to these e-journals, I think we just have to go out over there, download those particular articles, and therefore we basically are involved in what? Just trying to review those types of articles. Another change which I have looked in for nowadays doing research has become easy because of these types of e-resources which are available. And emphasis nowadays is more on what? Writing good research papers so that we are in a position to get them published out over there in some good Scopus or UGC care journals. So earlier we were not trying to have those types of emphasis on the quality of the journals, because during those times the number of journals that were available were less. But because of lot of emphasis on research, as a part of the API score, or as a part of promotion, I think now there is a mad rush to get the articles published. And because of this mad rush to get the articles published, I think the number of journals have quantitatively gone up. And when anything in terms of quantity goes up, I think quality always suffers. So now the focus is not on writing articles, but the focus is on writing good articles, and that too be published out over there in certain good journals, which we have termed as in terms of ABTC journals. And not only in terms of writing, we are trying to lay emphasis. Therefore, we have also started looking in for that how exactly when we talk in terms of any type of method that is used as a part of research, how we can make that method too much scientific, how we can make that method too much structured. Let's say, for example, I'm talking about review of literature. Now, the new word which has come in review of literature is structured literature review. And when I say structured literature review, then I have to structure in such a manner that I'm trying to understand these research articles which I'm trying to gather up from what different parts of the world, what are the years of their publication, what different types of sampling, what type of sampling frame, what are the sample size, what type of quantitative techniques have been used, what have been the variables that have been used, what have been the results, how these results are of relevance. And when we are trying to understand all these types of parameters in review of literature, it has become a part of what is called a structured literature review. Similarly, when we talk in terms of sampling, another component of research, we say to what extent we are in a position to make our sampling structured. Even if we are trying to do multi-stage sampling, then we are trying to understand what are the different components and the steps of sampling. Let's say, for example, I say, okay, fine, define your population, then move over there to sampling frame, then decide what will be the method of sampling, then decide what should be the size of the sample, who will be your respondents in terms of sampling unit, and how exactly all these steps that I'm trying to follow can be made structured and scientific. Similarly, when we talk in terms of research design, we really have to be very, very focused, and we try to understand the different designs of research and what type of research design can be optimally used. And either they are mostly descriptive in nature or exploratory come descriptive in nature. Very few researches we are doing on an experimental basis. Similarly, when it comes over there to problem formulation, again, we need to understand how to formulate a problem, certain steps we normally recommend. Similarly, for hypothesis writing also, we try to say that how exactly the hypothesis can be either null hypothesis or an alternative hypothesis, how they can be structured well, and how they can emerge from the objective. So what I just want to emphasize these days is what, when we say what are the emerging trends in research, so I normally say the trends have become too much scientific and structured, so that everything what we do has got a logic. And this logical way of doing research is what is a buzzword in these emerging times. Why it is important? Because competition is there. And in this age of competition, friends, only those people as researchers are going to survive who are going to do quality research. And for that particular reason, we have started looking in for what? In the quality of the research papers that we publish. Nowadays, it is also being emphasized that if you want to be a quality researcher, always try to read the papers also of those, say, the authors who are writing in good journals. And say, for example, if I'm trying to write a research paper and my focus is to get it published over there in ABDC journal, then I, as a research guide, normally advocate to my students who are my research scholars that please don't refer to any article less than what? Article published in ABDC journal. So I think total paradigm shift has been there. And nowadays, because of this competition, that old age, the practice of copy cut paste is no longer applicable, because these days there is a lot of plagiarism, and because of that, lot of plagiarism check. UGC has also laid down those standards that in any type of PhD thesis or any type of research article you're writing, the plagiarism component should not be more than 10%. From 20%, it has been reduced to 10%. So that means focus is more and more on the originality of the work. In terms of being very, very particular about how to write the research paper, what type of language, whether it has to be in a present tense or it has to be in a past tense, or how exactly we have to do that type of work. I think lot of emphasis on that. Another thing which I have tried to look in for is that now people in terms of doing research are trying to be involved in collaborative research. And when I say collaborative research, what I want to say is that, let's say, for example, there is a professor over there in US, and the professor is doing research on certain area. So I think that professor normally tries to collaborate with the again research professors in different countries of the world, and try to look in for how exactly the same thing can be, say, done in India, and what can be done over there in US, so that some type of comparative study can be done. And these types of comparative studies are found to be more useful as compared to only a study which has been done in a single country. So these types of collaborative researches nowadays have become very common. Earlier, we have seen that these types of